They're Britain's most run-down abandoned buildings.
All we've done was bought a building and turned it into a mess.
From crumbling historic relics
Whoa!
to industrial landmarks on the verge of collapse.
You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
But across the country, brave and ambitious home builders
Careful where I swing.
are taking matters
Let's go!
and tools into their own hands
Are we completely mad doing this?
to rescue
What have I done?
and transform these derelict properties.
Perhaps a cliche to feel the hand of history on your shoulder, but kind of do.
Taking on such neglected places
The roof's leaking, the windows are so rotten.
is fraught with risks,
Easy.
There's no point worrying about something you can't do anything about.
with the tightest deadlines
We'll be in for Christmas. Don't ask me which Christmas.
and even tighter budgets.
We will have completely emptied every bit of savings we have.
These are the families gambling everything
This is the human side of taking on a task like this.
for a new life in a stunning new home.
It's all in your mind and your wallet.
And they're both empty.
Right, so we're going to go to the chapel then, yeah?
Yeah, because I think when I was there yesterday,
Okay.
quite a lot of work was getting done.
Deep in the heart of North Yorkshire lies the pretty market town of Middleham. The childhood home of Richard III, it's now more famous for its racehorses than its royals. But it was neither kings or horses that lured Phil and Lisa from Derbyshire to the Dales. The star attraction was this.
All right?
Yep.
Crikey.
Formerly a place of worship for the good Methodists of Middleham,
It's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
this now redundant chapel has had a new calling.
Keep the paneling in that corner,
Yeah.
like we planned.
The staircase is going to go there.
Yeah.
Along that side, it's going to be just a free wall, isn't it?
And this recently retired couple are on a mission to convert this cavernous space into a heavenly home.
That's where the mezzanine's going to go. That's where the kitchen will go.
And I still can't convince you to keep that hole as the world's largest cat flap.
No, we're not having a cat flap there. I don't think so. I think that's where the dishwasher's going.
Born in Northern California, Lisa settled in the UK after she met and married Phil. And the rest, as they say, is history. Lisa's other big passion.
I've always loved old buildings, always. And if I could sketch out my dream home, it was to live in a chapel. There's just something so amazingly peaceful and just serene in those spaces that I love.
After years of hunting for the perfect pad, Lisa's prayers were finally answered. But, as the saying goes, be careful what you wish for. With the chapel in a considerable state of disrepair, work is already underway to strip it all out.
I remember coming in one day going,
What have we done?
what have we done? Oh my God, all we've done was bought a building and turned it into a mess.
At least it's a mess with masses of history, dating back more than 200 years.
Right. So these are the documents that we got when we bought the chapel. This is the oldest one. So this one dates back from 1794, which just blows my mind. And it's the original land deed for the meeting room side of the building.
It says, in the year of the reign of our sovereign Lord George III, King of Great Britain. And then it's got all these wonderful wax seals at the bottom there as well, which is incredible.
And it grants the right to open a chapel. I think it was £55.
A bargain compared to the £173,000 that Lisa and Phil forked out. And as for the cost of labour,
this is for plasterers and carpenters, plumbers and painters. All of that work for the entire chapel, it was £298.
hopefully local builder Gavin is being paid more than that. And he'll need a minor miracle to tackle this high-level job.
I still think it's incredible that even though literally all you've got are the stone tiles in there, that water doesn't pour in here.
Yeah, you haven't really on a really now. Yeah.
No. Thank you for destroying yet another one of my fairy tale assumptions about my chapel, Gavin.
You know, I must be honest. I'd only ever been in here once before. First you think, great, you've got a job on your doorstep, which is brilliant. But my first initial thought was, really big, it's a big job.
And an expensive one. The couple have a renovation budget of almost £400,000. But will that be enough to breathe new life into these old bricks and mortar?
I have moments where I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, borderline panic attack, because there's so many unknowns still. We fell in love with the building, and so we don't want to change it very much, but we also need to be really concerned about cost.
I'm not surprised it's keeping you awake, Lisa. There's quite a lot to do. What's now a historic landmark in the heart of the town started life as a simple meeting room and Sunday school back in 1794. The main chapel was added around 100 years later, and it was packed with local worshippers for more than a century. But as numbers dwindled, its doors finally closed in 2019. Inside, it was basic, but Lisa and Phil's plans are far from it. The false ceiling is being removed to reveal the original roof trusses and let in more light. And every one of the magnificent stained glass windows will be restored and double glazed. At the far end will be Lisa's enormous dream kitchen, complete with a walk-in pantry where they can hide all manner of sins. And in the centre, a large island, ideal for entertaining and for Lisa's passion for baking. Above all this, a new extra floor will be added, with a feature staircase leading up to a TV room and a chill-out area where Phil can indulge his love of music. The old meeting room next door will house a bijou guest room and a master bedroom with an ensuite bathroom and dressing room. What was once the vestry will be transformed into a cosy snug. Outside, the tatty old toilet block will be demolished and turned into an enclosed courtyard. It's an ambitious, sympathetic design that breathes new life into this old building while remaining faithful to its spiritual past. As to how long all this will take, God only knows.
Yeah, well, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? As a date, I'll have to pass at this moment in time because I don't honestly know myself.
FYI, Gav, Lisa and Phil hope they'll be in by next Christmas. That's just 15 months away.
I think the big problem is going to still be those top rounded windows.
Yeah.
That Frank is going to repair them so that we don't bleed heat out of those two top windows. The windows were what we fell in love with. When you look at sort of the different colors of the various panes and the design, they are the star of the building, really. We have to preserve them.
But restoring and triple glazing 18 of the chapel's original stained glass windows is going to smash a big hole in that budget.
Hands down, the cost of the windows and the frame will be the most expensive part of the whole project, even probably more expensive than the roof. We won't have any money after this, you know. We will have completely and utterly emptied every bit of savings that we have or could ever hope to have.
But no pain, no gain.
They look really flimsy, actually, don't they?
Well, they are. I mean, they're really thin panels of glass.
The delicate task of removing these fragile frames lies in the expert hands of stained glass specialists, French Frank and Yorkshireman Mick.
Well, I'm hoping to get 7 of them, the 7 big ones, but we'll see how it goes. What time does it get dark? 7 o'clock these days?
Possibly, yeah.
I brought my head torch anyway. Could work through the night.
Very funny.
Not the place to wind up a Yorkshireman, Frank. Joking apart, This is painstaking work. These huge windows have been set in stone for well over 100 years. So teasing out the crumbling lead frames takes time, skill and patience.
Every job is a challenge here. It's very labor intensive, and obviously we have to be extremely careful not to break the glass.
As with anything on a project like this, is that anytime you open something up, you have no idea what you're going to find.
So what do you want to do, mate? Try to remove the top one first?
I think so, yeah. This is a bit worrying, isn't it?
I think he's trying to get that out all in one piece.
Look at that.
One down, 17 to go. But there's a problem.
The stained glass panels are held by a copper tie, which are attached to the steel bar, which are on the other side.
To release the panels, they need to cut the ties holding them in place.
Should we break one of those?
Lisa and Phil's restoration dreams are about to be shattered. In Middleham, in the Yorkshire Dales, it's an anxious time for Lisa and Phil. Stained glass specialists Frank and Mick have had to take drastic measures to remove the chapel's precious panels.
Breaking a piece of glass to get to the tie is not the normal way of doing things. Just have to repair it. A bit more work. So I'm reaching out for the copper tie behind just to free the panel from the steel bar.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it's gonna just drop in front of it.
There's kind of a ridge there, I think, where it's actually slotted in, but...
And he's got to try and work with that as well.
But finally...
Right. Here we go. Beautiful.
Voila!
We're very impressed, Frank.
A nice little panel. A few breaks on the edges, but it's nothing that can't really be matched.
That should come out. Here we go.
They've done a cracking job.
Oops.
Now, Frank needs to work his magic restoring these precious windows back at his workshop.
I'm going to be working on this for the next few weeks. And by all means, if you want to come and visit us,
that'd be great.
working on it.
That would be amazing. Thank you. I'd love to come.
Middleham Chapel was a vibrant hub for the community until its last service in 2019. For local historian Marion, it's a place that's very close to her heart. So today, she's back.
Hi, hello.
To share some of its history in exchange for a sneak peek.
This room should give you the biggest surprise.
Oh my goodness! Wow, it's amazingly light.
The false ceiling cut off those two top oval windows. And it's amazing how much light that blocked out. Yeah. So this was the old kitchen, and this is now going to be our bathroom. The only thing that we've kind of demolished in the whole building was the old toilet block.
Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it.
Do you know?
I remember it so well.
No one remembers the toilet block.
Oh, I remember the toilet. I'm
so
very glad they've gone.
Amen to that. But Marion's connection to the chapel extends beyond its questionable plumbing. Lisa and Phil have another treat that should have her singing from the rafters.
So we've got two sets of documents.
Oh, they're lovely.
We've got a lot of the old deeds.
Wow, still with seals on them.
Still with seals.
Yes. Here we've got this wonderful list of the trustees at that time in 1881. And we can see who they were and where they were from.
Among those early Methodists were two of Marion's own ancestors, Angelo and Benjamin Croft. And she's hoping she'll see their names here for the very first time.
We have Angelo and Benjamin in this document right there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's from
Wow.
1861.
But there's another document that's caught Marion's eye. Back in the day, attendance here was at a premium, and that inspired a cheeky way to boost the chapel's coffers.
One of the things that they did was that they got money for pew rent, which sounds
That's
absolutely
incredible.
odd to us now. But if you went into a place of worship, your family always sat in the same pew, for which you would pay a few pennies a week. And that was a source of income for them.
Paying to park your derriere? What a bummer. It's the start of the summer, Yorkshire style. But even the inclement weather hasn't dampened Lisa's spirits. Today's a big day. Work on the chapel's roof is finally starting.
The roofing is kind of like just a really pivotal point, because once they get the roofing done, then all of the inside fixing work can get going. It's just this kind of really important key stage in the project, and it's so exciting to see it happening.
These 18th century slates will be reused on the smaller vestry roof. And with around 4,000 of them, head roofer Neil has got his work cut out for him.
After 200 or 300 years, these slates take some getting off. I mean, these are the slates that have come off. That's been in all weathers for 300 years. And that'll be as good as the day it came out the quarry.
Best crack on, Neil. The gaffer's on his way.
I've not been up here before. This is cool.
Yeah, it's
going really well.
That's one of the copper nails that they fitted the slates with.
Oh, okay.
And it's got either the slater's stamp on it or the firm that did it.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
You can see the actual copper there, can't you?
Yeah, they're fully copper. And to be honest, they've hardly corroded over the years.
J.A. it looks like to me.
Yeah, it does to me. I suppose years ago, if a slate came off, they knew who did the...
Oh, I see. Oh, right, OK. Oh, so, you know, third-party insurance. We'll get him.
Yeah.
Heaven knows who J.A. was, but at least his legacy and the roof itself live on.
A bit of treasure, we'll keep that.
While work continues on the roof, 50 miles away on the outskirts of Bradford, stained glass specialist Frank has spent the past 4 weeks restoring the chapel's iconic windows.
Cool building.
I know, it is. It's cool, isn't it? I like all the windows that are there.
And Phil and Lisa are here to check on his progress.
For us, the windows have always been the key feature of the whole building. And if the windows aren't right, then that wow factor that you get from the windows doesn't work. So, no, he's incredibly crucial to the outcome of this project.
No pressure, Frank.
Knock, knock. Hello,
Welcome,
nice to see
welcome.
you.
Did you find us all right?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah. I don't know if you recognize those windows. Let me show you with the light. In this window itself, we replaced actually all the yellows there.
Oh, really?
I think the green had to be replaced. Yeah. This is original, and most of the rest is original.
Frank's masterful restoration of both the leadwork and the glass is a total revelation.
I don't think you would ever look at them and think that there's anything that's been changed about them. They just, they match so well together. I could literally spend hours looking at these windows. They just, every time I look at them, I see something new or something different.
I really love this, Frank, particularly all the colours, the different hues that you...
Yeah, I love this glass as well, yeah.
It's just superb.
We're going to be like window bores. Everybody who comes, we're going to have to talk them through every single panel. Nobody's going to want to come visit us ever again.
It's been the wettest summer in decades, but rain's not stopped play at the chapel.
Chills, what's wrong this morning, Chili? I know. When you're 17 and grumpy, it's very hard.
Inside their cosy rented cottage, Lisa is on a special mission to keep the workforce sweet.
So today's Friday, and Friday is baking day for all of the workers on site. So the last couple of sunshine lemon pies are ready to come out.
After selling her bakery business to help fund the build, Lisa's been busy cooking up a new idea for when she has the kitchen of her dreams.
One of the things that I really enjoyed about owning the bakery was running bakery classes. So the plan is, when we get back into the chapel, is for me to start running bakery classes again. So yeah, I am looking forward to my beautiful, large kitchen.
Until then, she's bringing some sunshine on a rainy day for them up top.
I've done some creme patisserie tarts. And then
Oh,
I've
it
done
could be a fight on there.
You guys can decide whether, you know, who gets what. We've got sunshine lemon pies and then some creme patisserie tarts. So I'll let you decide what you give to them.
Cheer up, fellas. She's just brought you a plate of sunshine. With the sun finally making an appearance, things are looking up. While Gavin chips away at the old block, the rotten roof rafters are ripped out. Oops-a-daisy.
I'll sort that.
And up on the roof, it's all going great guns. As the new insulation goes in, and the chapel's new slates are finally on.
That roof looks spectacular.
It is a work of art. It feels like we're really kind of moving forward.
There's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. And hopefully it will soon be flooding through those magnificent stained glass windows.
Today, the leaded windows, which were taken out in March, for repair, are going back in. It's the one part of the project that I've managed rather than Gavin. And I just thought, well, I might as well take it on. So I kind of...
Well, you wanted to contribute, and also you thought it was actually going to be helpful by doing that.
I did. I was so stupid. Should have just let him do it. Best case scenario is that the window frames fit brilliantly. So for me, the worst case scenario is that we've got something wrong.
Keep the faith, Lisa. What could possibly go wrong?
Glenn, hiya, nice to meet you. Hello.
Phil, nice to see you. Hi,
Oh,
Glenn.
wow. That is just fantastic.
These restored and triple glazed windows will sit in new 21st century frames.
Frames are a bit lighter than the windows.
But things aren't quite going to plan. The gaps left by the original frames are bigger than expected.
We get a bit closer, can't we?
It's a wooden frame, but it was obviously put in there over 100 years ago. We're now trying to put the new aluminium frames that have been fabricated and measured to that aperture.
And therein lies the problem. They don't fit. Think it's time for a cuppa, Lisa?
Honestly, I have had so many sleepless nights for the last kind of week or so. They're the original windows from the chapel. They're kind of what made us fall in love with the chapel, and they're hellishly expensive. Oh, what have I done? Gav, they need lat?
Roofer's lat.
Can I just take all that? Is that needed or is that spare?
At the chapel in North Yorkshire, stress levels are high. The new window frames don't quite measure up. So Lisa and Phil have been tasked with finding something to help plug the gap.
If I grab a handful of that, you take some of the large bits as well. Cheers.
There's only a amount kicking around.
Bang on, that.
If it was that way,
Yeah.
perfect.
That's bang on. One on that side and four rest.
What's happening is that they're getting some wooden roofer's lats, of which we've got loads of,
Because we just had the roof done.
chopping those to size, and then that will act as a frame inside the stonework. The new frames will look exactly like it was when it was put in 120 years ago.
After a sticky start, it looks like they've nailed it.
First one's always the hardest.
Okay.
All right.
Just 17 to go.
Look at that.
But will Builder Gavin be impressed by Lisa's project managing debut?
Oh, stuck the memory. And it fits.
It fits, it's brilliant.
Like, you sound like you doubt it.
No, I never doubted it.
I mean, I may have sounded a little panicky this morning.
Well, the lads did say Lisa's panicking.
Lisa was panicking. Lisa's been panicking all week.
It's the only thing I've had to sort that Gav hasn't sorted.
It's true. And as we've already ascertained, managing a building is not my forte. That's your forte.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
It's hard work, isn't it?
I don't think all exuberance or excitement will dim. This is just 2 years of imagining what they were going to look like when they were prepared.
yeah.
But honestly, that line of color, that rainbow of color coming in against the wall,
That's great.
when that wall is white, and it's just going to be beautiful. Yep, we have a chapel.
Excellent.
Thank God for that. But they may need to pray for a bit more money, as the chapel's coffers are almost running on empty.
This is a week of bills. Lots and lots of very big bills. So we've got the bill for the windows and their installation. We've just got the invoice through for the tiles for all of our bathrooms. And then we've got the bill through from the Highways Agency and for the road closure, which was much more expensive than we anticipated.
Exactly.
With lots of furniture still to buy, they need a lot of bang for their buck. And they know exactly where to bag a bargain.
What do you think about that side table? Is it a bit too chunky?
Yeah. We've been buying things from the auction houses around the country simply because they offer a great selection.
And also, we've saved a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we do have very different tastes.
Yeah.
This should be fun.
Now, this rug.
This one.
This one. So, I know you don't like rugs, but this will protect the hardwood floor.
Yeah.
It's big, it's in good condition. The bit that maybe looks a little stained is going to be hidden by the sofa anyway.
You're on dodgy ground, Lisa.
And I actually like the picked out blue bit as well.
See, I wish you hadn't mentioned the blue bit now.
We've been married for 37 years, so we know each other's styles.
I think it's a bit
It's a bit too
too
ornate.
fussy.
Yeah,
So
sadly.
that's a no.
I'm going to leave it on the table for when we talk about the rug.
So it's not a no.
There must be something you both like. What about that Victorian chaise longue?
Ooh. What do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's all right, actually.
Hallelujah! They're finally singing from the same hymn sheet.
So let's have a think what our maximum would be.
Yeah.
Maybe 350?
Could you go up a bit?
I think 400 would be the maximum.
Okay, all right.
The following day, Lisa and Phil are back to bid for that feature sofa.
On the lot number 1323, we offer this very stylish Victorian carved walnut chaise long. Start with 200 for it. £200, thank you, sir. Starting with the 200 in the room. Jump up the dining table. 220 against you. 250. 280. 300. 350. 4 bid. 450 back in. 500. One more, was that 550? 550 back in.
The £400 limit seems to have gone out the window.
700, thank you. 700. 700 on the table. Last time it's 700.
Aw, bad luck, guys.
Very pleasant. I've enjoyed sitting on it.
1870 furniture, £40 for the tripod, put it in 1324.
But they've not left empty-handed, bagging 2 oak chests for just 70 quid.
Okay. Got it?
Yeah, I've got it.
Careful, drawers.
I think they're going to need a bigger boot.
We would have never had room for the chaise lounge anyway.
Almost a year after work began, this rundown building is scrubbing up nicely.
A lot happening the last couple of weeks.
Definitely, yeah.
All the windows in the chapel are in, which is great.
And then the other exciting thing is the steels, which are spectacular. They're even better than we'd imagine.
It just gives the whole room such definition now.
And despite the Great British weather doing its best to upstage events yet again...
Ready? Hello.
I'm so impressed because it is miserable, honestly.
4 new bedroom windows are finally fitted.
Hello.
Oh,
Look at those.
It's perfect.
It was the day before Christmas, and all through the church were 3 hardened plasterers, all hard at work. While the couple visit family in America, the plasterers are busier than Santa's elves. And by January, things are looking a whole lot brighter inside the chapel.
So we're coming in today. Oh, wow. It just really sets off the beams, doesn't it?
That is quite amazing. That is brilliant that they're in here.
Yeah, wow. That is very cool. Who knew we'd get so excited over plastering?
The new mezzanine is finished.
Absolutely brilliant.
Honestly, I can't wait to sit in here, chill, and have Gregorian chant music playing in the background.
And accessed by a bespoke solid steel staircase.
But it's just so lovely after all these months of having the mezzanine here and being able to finally get up there using the staircase.
And by the time June comes around for the second time, they're ready to warm up this old church with a maze of modern underfloor heating.
God, these floors are just insane. He said that there's 2,000 meters of piping.
2,000?
Yeah, that's the extra manifold that they had to put in.
Oh, right, so we can get it
because of the amount of under the floor heating that we have. But,
feels warm. Crikey.
Just what you need in the middle of summer. With the groundwork done, installers Graham and Ben are about to protect those pipes with a thick layer of screed. Not wanting to miss out on the action, Phil and Lisa are now hanging around to literally watch concrete dry.
just feels like this is the start of all these stuff kicking off. Up till now has been fairly slow. Once this floor is down, all of the second fix can kick off. The floor goes in, the kitchen goes in, the tiles go in, and it's like, it's just so exciting. And it's weird to think that a concrete pour would be such a milestone moment, but it really is. And also, there's something about having a solid concrete floor down that makes it look like a home.
Personally, I think a few soft furnishings might make it feel a bit more homely, Lisa.
Literally, in less than 8 weeks, the sofas have been delivered. So instead of being sat out here, we can sit in there on the sofa.
More importantly, I can stop looking at our bank balance with horror and terror and just, wanting to weep.
Wow! Just 14 weeks to go before this chapel becomes a home. In North Yorkshire, Lisa and Phil are on the home straight.
Very exciting. We are getting the Everhot delivered today. Quite a few things have been delayed, including the floor and things like that. But the Everhot is here.
Lisa's state-of-the-art oven, ordered 3 years ago, finally goes in.
Who needs a sports car when you can have an Everhot? But it is so shiny. I don't want to get it dirty.
The stunning parquet floor goes down, and there's even a hint of a bathroom.
Once the tile gets put in and you've got the contrast of the tile and the wood, it's going to look brilliant.
Yeah.
I share your faith, Lisa. It's taken 3 years, but Phil and Lisa have finally done it. And they're still smiling.
We're pretty giddy about it, in a way.
To get to this point now, where it's actually... Well, we're living there, aren't we?
Yeah. I like to think, though, that in 38 years of being together, I've made very few demands. I just saved them all up for that.
Lisa's lifelong dream of living in a chapel has finally come true.
When we walk through the door, you look at it and you think, wow, this is ours.
And no wonder they're pinching themselves. What was once a run-down, neglected old building has been transformed into a glorious home, with a fond nod to its spiritual past.
I love that you can walk in and you go, oh, wow, it's still a chapel.
Yeah.
And taking centre stage, those magnificent stained glass windows, exquisitely framed by pure white walls.
That's the star of the show, isn't it? Because that is just so spectacular.
It is. They change literally every moment of the day when the light changes. And so you sit here and it's very relaxing just watching the light shimmer and change.
But the real challenge has been converting this cavernous space into a cosy home.
We wanted it to feel warm and inviting and welcoming. So, we've spent a lot of time going to auctions all over the country, finding pieces that were appropriate and colors that matched into the windows.
One of their few new purchases are these sumptuous sofas that mirror the purples and greens of the windows.
We knew that certain pieces like the sofas had to be huge because when you have 9-meter high ceilings, you have to have big pieces that will pull it all together.
In the main living space, the past remains present throughout. The old floor joists now form the treads on this stunning feature staircase. And up above, the original choir stalls stand proudly in front of the new mezzanine. The living room cradles the past, but their state-of-the-art matte black kitchen is unashamedly modern.
The kitchen is probably my favorite space in the whole chapel. To me, the kitchen is a workplace, and so I wanted it to be a very clean space. It is just such a joy to stand here and have that as my view. I could live here for 50 years and I don't think I'd ever get bored.
The 200-year-old meeting room is now a place to rest their souls. in this super-sized sleigh bed. And the big and bold theme overflows into their spacious ensuite bathroom.
This is like a really grown-up, ostentatious bathroom.
It is the one room that when people come to visit, I get
a bit embarrassed about.
Yeah. I've always wanted a really big, deep bath, so it's really cold around here, and that's fine. But when you come back from a walk, sometimes you just want to soak into a really lovely, deep, hot bath.
You know what they say, Lisa? Go big or go home. Lisa and Phil have pulled off the mother of all conversions to create their unique home. But it's not come cheap. The building cost them £173,000. The renovation, an awful lot more.
We didn't count on the world economy tanking and building prices going up by 60%.
It's lots of hidden costs, which we hadn't really factored into the project.
Our renovation budget was around $380,000. That's been doubled. It will be about $750,000. So all in, with the renovation costs and the cost of the building itself, you're closing in on $900,000. Could we have gotten away with less? Yes.
Absolutely.
But cutting corners come back and bite you in 5 years' time.
And the bottom line is we knew what we wanted in the end, and that's what we've got. So we're really, really happy.
Middleham Chapel is now Phil and Lisa's forever home, but it remains a much-loved place in the community. And today, they're expecting some VIP guests.
Hello, hello, come in, come in.
How lovely to see you again. Hello, nice to see you too. Wow, now dare I look at it all.
Local historian Marion is back with Janet, Margaret and the Reverend Joe to see how their former place of worship has been revived.
I'm actually stunned. I'm lost for words, really. Yes.
I think a nice cup of tea is in order.
So is it quite different then?
It is still recognisable as the building with the personality that it had before.
I think that's really good.
And I think that's lovely, that you have made it yours by putting your mark on it, but it's still recognisable as what it was.
But Marion and her band of merry women aren't quite done yet.
But we have all sung in this chapel lots of times. Would you mind if we had a little sing?
No, that would be amazing.
Well,
have you two had a little sing in here?
We don't sing. Nobody wants to hear us sing.
We're waiting for you four to christen it.
Over to you, ladies.
OK.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Phil and Lisa can finally count their blessings and their faith in each other.
This was not Phil's dream, this was my dream. So his support in the face of everything that we've gone through, I am incredibly grateful for.
It's been a partnership, but I have to say there's been one leader and one person that's had the vision and one person that's had the drive. And I don't think that's been me, actually.
And now they can sit back and enjoy their divine new home together in perfect harmony.
I do have to keep pinching myself.
Yeah.
I keep thinking, this isn't ours.
So we don't have to check out. We can actually
don't
stay
have to
another
check
day.
out, but you do have to pick your towels up off the floor. Okay.